Hey, good morning, guys. I hope y'all can join us this morning. Guys, this is August. You're listening to Help Matters. We haven't gone live yet, but if you're in your car, tune in to 94.7 and tune in to Help Matters with Jackie and Coach. But we're going to be talking about your journey to wellness. August is National Wellness Awareness Month. So we just want to kind of bring awareness and bring some things and tips and tools to you to just kind of get you motivated and get you inspired to make some changes. If there are some changes that you want to make, in your journey of wellness, and that's in all the areas because we have several dimensions of wellness. So look at those areas in your life and see where I can make some changes. So join us in on this conversation. You also can call in and share your journey if you're on a wellness journey. The number is 803-226-0041. We going live. Good morning, CSRA. This is Jackie.
And Coach Patrick.
Guys, you are listening to Help Matters here, right here on Shout 94.7 FM, WAAW.
And this is another glorious, beautiful day the Lord has made.
Yes, sir. And we're going to choose to rejoice in it. We're going to choose. And I like to use that word choose because we have to.
I'm jumping up and down. Y'all just can't see me because it's all inside. It's all inside.
We have to choose it. We have to set the tone for our day.
Gotcha.
We have to choose to put on our armor. We have to choose to show up.
Most definitely.
We have to show up
every day.
We have to ask ourselves, who are we showing up as today? Mm-hmm. And we have to, and it's not easy.
That's why when you show up to be in the image of Jesus Christ, then you don't have to remember how you showed up yesterday because there's some consistency in the spirit and who you are. It's not an act, but it's who you are because of who you serve.
And it's who you serve. And it's what is your first action in the morning?
Most definitely.
When you get up, because in your thoughts, your actions, what are those in the morning? Are you cutting the TV on? Are you looking at bad news? Or you're speaking negativity? You have to look at that. And so how you set your day is most likely how you will go through your day. So you have to set the tone.
Most definitely.
You are in control of that.
So important.
So it's very important.
So we got a little bit more cooler day. We got a cloud cover, a little rain. So we're not in the 90s or anything like that. It's supposed to be, maybe 77, 80 degrees. So that's a good thing. Get a break from all of that sun. But hey, we're in a brand new month, awesome month of August. I know we have some birthdays. My sister Valerie in H-Town, Houston, she'll be celebrating her birthday.
And her husband Jerry.
And
also.
Jerry also. Who is celebrating a birthday?
A birthday in August, my brother Henry in Mobile, Alabama, in LA, Little Alabama.
Happy birthday. And we on baby watch, y'all. So we're going to be celebrating Lanaya's birthday in this month.
Yes,
so she could come today, so we should have to shoot out of here, y'all.
We got to go.
We on baby watch.
Yes, and also
our son Patrick and Crystal is having their first baby. We're so excited about it.
Yes, and anniversaries. Our sister-in-law and my sister-in-law Valerie and her husband Jerry.
So they celebrate birthdays and
anniversaries. Awesome. I think they celebrated their anniversary last month, but their birthdays are in August.
Well, knowing them, they probably still celebrating their anniversary.
Absolutely. I talked to her yesterday.
So happy birthday, happy anniversary to everyone that's celebrating birthdays and anniversary. Celebrating anniversary. Keep the fire burning. Keep loving one another. Keep building family. And just keep making memories.
Yes.
Real quick, our sponsor of Help Matters, Get Fit with Jackie, Dr. Dan, Aiken Chiropractic. When your spine is aligned, your body is too. Aiken Chiropractic is located at 425 Lawrence Street, Northwest in Aiken, South Carolina. 803-641-9191 is their number, and their website is www.aikenchiropractic.com. Awesome shout out to Dr. Dan. He's always supporting Help Matters and Get Fit with Jackie Fitness and Wellness and everything that we do. And we appreciate it so much. If you would like to be a sponsor, partner, or friend of the broadcast, you can call 706-592-8862. Now, there are other advertising and sponsorship opportunities for you on the radio show itself. And if you would like to uh, 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 get into an advertisement packet with the radio station, which I highly recommend that you make an investment in your company, you can call the office line at 803-649-6405. We have some awesome packages to help you to get your brand out there so that the people in the CSRA community, Georgia, Atlanta, know that you're out there and what you provide for the community.
Yes, absolutely right. And also, guys, you can also, we got a WAW celebration coming up. And so we're going to be celebrating our welcome back luncheon.
That's right. Welcome back celebration.
celebration.
WAW
And it's
is
going to be
back.
at the Leslie B.
We want to
Price.
shout about it. We want to
Yes.
shout about it.
Shout,
And we
shout,
want
yeah.
you to join us and shout with us. It's going to be a welcome back celebration luncheon. It's going to be Saturday, August the 23rd at 12 p.m. It's going to be held at the Leslie B. Price Senior and Youth Center, which is located at 841 Edgefield Avenue, Northwest in Aiken, South Carolina. Listen, we want you to go ahead and plan to be there. Set your calendars to be there. Let us know that you're going to be there. Reach out to the station, 649, again, 803-649-6405. Let us know that you want a ticket for the event. It's $25 to be at the celebration luncheon. We're going to feed you. We're going to have good fellowship. We're going to have some fun. We're going to have some entertainment for you. She's going to have some praise and worship for you. So we want you to be there. We do have a program booklet that we are creating. If you would like, if you have a business or if you just want to, shout out, there's ads for sales at different prices, all the way from $400 all the way down to $50. So everyone, there's a ad that you can put in the book if you just want to shout out. So again, you can ask the office about that at 803-649-6405. We're so very excited about seeing and meeting you, all the listeners of WAAW Shout 94.7 FM. So we want you to be in the place. We
Yes.
want you to be in the place. Again,
Right.
that's happening August 23rd at 12 p.m.
Yes, and if you want tickets for it, you can call the station or you can give us a call, guys. And I think the office number is over there, Coach.
Yeah, I gave it. It's
Yes.
803-649-6405.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Or you can actually even call Coach and I, 706-592-8862.
Right. Well, make sure you get a ticket.
Yes, and you can get a ticket so
Most
we
definitely.
can head you in the right direction for
That's
the
right.
ticket. But come on, guys, and celebrate and support the station, support it coming back into the community.
That's right. We're
Because,
back.
I mean,
and we're
this
back
is
for you.
rare,
Right.
when you lose, you sell out, a station or you sell something, it's not guaranteed you can
get
get
it
that
back.
back.
That's right.
So you get that back. That's a blessing.
That's answered prayer.
That's prayer.
We've been
That's
praying
prayer.
and believing.
Yeah.
So now, let's put our actions into place and let's support. Let's support the station. Let's support what it's doing. Let's support your broadcast that's coming on the station. We're going to do great things. We got some great things planned, and it's just for you because we want to be the station of your choice. So it takes a village, and we want you to be part of that village to help us do what we do here at WAAW 94.7 FM.
So listen, guys, I don't know if you guys know, so month is National Wellness Month.
August.
And it's time to get back focused, reset, reprioritize our overall well-being. And we all know if we see what's going on in this world today, we can just see it. It's time to be a self-advocate for our health.
It is, yeah.
If you don't see what's going on and know what's going on, or you're not awakened awakened to what's going on, you're
just
going
not
to
paying
have
attention, right?
or ignoring it. You're going to have to be a self-advocate for your health. You're going to have to be.
So
because it's, like I said, there's so much is going on. You got to be proactive. You got to, ask questions. You got to be on it.
Right.
You got to
take action. You got to take action. So, and that's why we're here. We're here to help you because most people, that get started on the journey to optimal health and wellness, it's not easy. Even for the most disciplined person that does it all the time. It's not easy.
Right.
It's a challenge every day,
Yeah.
to do what you need to do in order to reach that optimal health. A lot of people, they start, they're very excited, they're motivated, but soon they find themselves just falling out of that process. And it's been studied that 80% of people who start a program fall out of the process, Jackie, within 15 to 30 days.
Because sometimes we start with good intentions. Everybody set January, after the New
Yeah.
Year's. I don't
The
know. I think that
resolutions, right?
just has become a tradition or a trend,
Yeah.
that people do. But this is a everyday
It's a lifestyle.
lifestyle. This is nothing that we put off until January. We decide to try to do something. But
That's good.
this thing is it encompasses our whole spectrums of health, our physical health, our mental health, our emotional health, our social health, our spiritual health, all of it,
Environmental health.
and environmental health,
Yeah.
intellectual health. And so we have to look at that,
Right.
and like our Help Matters scripture is, what is 3 John 2, I wish above all things that you may prosper and be in health, and even as your soul prospers. And so that meaning, and when we say soul, what are we talking about? Our mind, our intellect, our imagination, our reason. This is where we think, and this is where we make decisions. And so when people are starting off with good intentions, they want to do well. They want to. And everything starts with the desire, coach. Everything starts with
That's
a
it.
desire.
That's it.
And if whatever you desire is most likely what you would go after. If
Right.
you're desiring to live healthier, you're desire to eat
Be
better,
well. Yeah.
be well,
Right.
So what is that
Right.
scripture
So
they said that when Jesus, that man just has been sitting on the side of the pool, and every time he wanted
pool
to
of
get in there,
Bethesda, and
yeah,
every time the water get to moving,
moving,
he can't get in
somebody
because
he can't
somebody.
get up,
Yeah.
they get in front of it. But he's and Jesus came to him and just told him, said, it was like his faith,
Yeah.
Well,
Well, it took some action on his behalf.
right,
Why everybody been beating you to the pool all this time anyway?
yeah.
Get your butt up there to that close to that pool and roll over in there when
But
you get to
his
moving.
faith just,
I know. I understand.
it's
That's
about
good.
his faith.
Yeah,
And
but the thing behind that is action.
yes,
Just do it.
you
Jesus said,
gotta put forth actions.
Right.
You have to put forth some type of action
right.
if you want to do something. But first,
Right.
it starts with the desire.
Start with that why, and like you said, it's that desire.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
desire. It's that why. Establishing, coach said, a qualified why. I said
Qualified desire.
having a why that has a purpose and a meaning.
That's it, and that's qualifies it.
And that qualifies it,
Yeah.
because we can always all say, oh, I just want to lose weight to get into this dress. I want to lose weight before I go
Temporary
to the
on the surface.
yes, to the class reunion. I want to lose weight to do, but it's never, those are little small short-term
Right.
goals,
Right.
that we made. But we're talking about long-term goals. We want to talk about, what's sustainable, what can sustain me, because if I don't have a qualified why, I don't have anything to continue to sustaining.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to remember now, when we're setting goals,
Mm-hmm.
and we're trying to do something and setting goals, we set the goal. That means we're coming up with a plan.
Right.
We're contemplating.
Right.
We're setting that desire to do this. I want to do this, so I'm setting some goals. So it's very important that the why is in the goal before I set the goal and say, this is what I want short term, this is what I want long term. But what we don't understand is we set the goals, but we got to bag up and start.
Mm-hmm. Get in the process.
And we got to get in the process of the journey. We don't forget the journey now. Now the journey is the meat.
Right.
This is
That's
where
everything in
all the
between.
highs and lows and ups and downs. This is where you're going to modify. This is where you're going to
Learn,
tweak and change things, because it's going to shift. It's
That's
going
right.
to change.
That's
so
right.
you're going to have to modify. You even can modify that why, and it's okay. You may start it with this, and you're like, wait a
Might
minute
have to
now.
shift.
I got to shift this thing. So you
Right.
may have to adjust it a little bit. And I want you to know that's okay to do that. There's
And
nothing
here's the
wrong with
thing,
that.
you made the plan, so why can't you change it?
Right.
If it's not working right, or you're not getting your desired result,
Right.
then, just because you set up goals and a plan on how you're going to reach a certain place and what that result should look like doesn't always mean that the goals you set and the plan you make is going to get that desired result. So if it doesn't, you don't get frustrated. You don't quit, because why? It's lifestyle. You just go back to the drawing board,
Mm-hmm.
and
Adjust it.
readjust, make some shifts or whatever.
Modification.
And that's why it's important to journal throughout your journey so that you capture things that you need to capture. Now, as we talked about, Jackie talked about the why and thinking about temporal things, and we say that because a lot of times the methods that you use to acquire, getting just losing weight, sometimes not realistic,
They're not
and it's nothing that
sustainable.
you can sustain because you probably went on liquid diet, for a week or two. Not saying everybody do it that way, but I'm just saying if you did it that way, then you can't sustain it. I'm just
Called
trying to give you an
extreme
example, right?
measures
That's
to
why I'm trying to
get
give you
there.
an example. You're not going to, for the rest of your life, drink your meals. So that's not realistic. It's not sustainable. So that's why it's so important to make small changes, modifications to your diet, to your physical activity routine, so that is something that you can sustain for a lifetime.
And that's what we're talking
Way
about.
of life.
And what we don't understand, and listen, this is the key: consistency.
Hmm.
And what you do, consistency, you will have more results. But one thing you can't do, you can't control the process.
Hmm.
You can't control how your body going to distribute or uh, lose the fat. You don't control that
Hmm.
process. You just go through that journey. Focus on the journey.
Right.
Celebrate those little short-term successes.
Right.
Celebrate it. Yay, because if
Reward
you can't
yourself.
celebrate yourself where you at
Hmm.
right here before you start, you'll never be able to celebrate yourself even when you get there, because you're going to always look at trying to change something. And that's what happened when people have procedures and they do things. They never is happy. They're never happy. They continue to do things. So you gotta love who you are right where
Right.
you
And
at.
celebrate those small successes.
Exactly.
Right.
And they has to be things that are sustainable. When you make drastic changes, you're not giving your body time to adjust
Hmm.
to this. And so when you get to a point where you like, oh well, I'm doing great, but how much stress you're putting on yourself, overwhelming yourself to stay there. Do you know so many people that they look at the outside external thing and look at other people on social media, and they're like, I want that, I want to do that, I want to do that. But you don't understand what these people are doing to get this, what they're giving
What
up
their
to get
process
this,
is, right?
what their process of doing
How
this,
long they've been in
how
the
long
process.
they've been doing this, what type of body type they
Right.
have, or genetics they have. So, and all that is a whole different
Right.
conversation.
And
So,
that's why you have to
you,
run your race. You
yes,
run your race because
absolutely,
everybody is different and everybody's body responds differently. We're
differently,
at different ages. Our body types are different. Our blood
right,
types are different. So, and we have to keep all of those things in mind. But a qualified why is usually based on lifestyle changes that are sustainable.
right,
And that's the important thing. Your why should be meaningful and purposeful, just like Jackie said. We all have a purpose in Christ, and so our why should be built around that. You want to be able to have the strength to do the things that you need to do. And it's not about condemning yourself. There's no condemnation. Like we said, celebrate those small victories that you have. If you've been a soda drinker and you've been drinking 3 and 4 sodas a day every week, all month, and you made some changes and you started drinking more water and now you only drinking 1 soda a day and you did that for a week or two, celebrate that.
right.
That's a victory. You're doing something now that you hadn't done in a while, probably in years, to make your health better. Just that small adjustment is a step towards you getting in the right directions to be the best you that you can be. So celebrate that and don't
Yes.
condemn yourself.
And that's right. And and what coach is saying, you have to celebrate the small wins. As I said, you gotta celebrate where you're at. That's why that why is so important.
Right.
Because, so many of us rely on our will. How many of us know that our willpower alone ain't gonna
Not alone.
sustain us on our journey? It's just not. And so that's why I said we look at external things and we see other people doing it, and and yeah, it motivates us, for a minute, but it's just it's not going to alone help you in the process to keep the momentum building and keeping it going. How do we continue to build the momentum on our journey?
Right.
How do we do that? With that qualified why. Because when I can look back and when I'm stuck, I call it plan for the what ifs. Because the what ifs are going to happen.
They're gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. So a schedule gonna change, or you may not be able to work out
Life
this day,
circumstances.
or you just don't know. Life gonna life.
Right.
So something gonna have to adjust. And during that time, what do I do?
And are you prepared to make that adjustment? Do you have a plan in place?
Yeah, what do I have in place for that what if? Some of them, I don't want to plan because I don't plan to fail. Well, you don't fail unless you give up.
That's right.
So what you do is you make the adjustments, you tweak it, and you modify it. So, okay, wait a minute, what's going on here? I'm not able to work out for a couple of weeks right now. I got to stop this. So how can I adjust this?
Right. Continue.
That's when that qualified why pulls you up and say, wait a minute, this is why I'm doing this. I'm not just doing this to just do it, just for a trend or a fad, or just to say but I'm doing this because I want to maintain my independence, my physical independence as I age. I want to be functionality. I want everything still working, because like I said, you don't use it, you lose it. You gotta move. Your movement is your lotion is your motion.
Right.
So I was just trying to finish up that, Coach, and that's what I was
good. That's good. And what does a meaningful and purposeful why look like? It's having a good quality of life, like Jackie was just saying. In your old age, you want to age gracefully. Improving cardiovascular health, flexibility, mobility, strength. Adding longevity to your life. We all know we're going to leave here one day, but what we want to be as strong as we can while we're here. And wellness is more than just eating right and physical activity. As we started off the show, we talked about there's many dimensions of wellness. We're talking about mental health. We're talking about social health, socialization with others, emotional, environment, spiritual, the most important part of our wellness, because that touches everything. Just like our mental health, it touches everything. Some of us get so tied up in the losing, the physical weight, that we don't understand that some of the mental weight that has been bogging us down won't allow us to lose the physical weight.
Because you got to get rid. It starts within. The transformation starts within.
Right.
When we stop conforming and focus on transforming, now we can look at it from a long term.
Right.
We can see beyond. And just kind of focus on that, being transformed and not conform unto the diet and exercise cultures and trends that is out there, because we all have a different blueprint. We all are different biologically, chemistry. We all absorb food differently. Our body react to exercise differently. Then don't get into premenopause and menopause. Oh, come on now. When those ghrelins and leptins start changing, those hormones, those hunger cues and full cues get off balance,
And that's why you have to know your body, pay attention to your body, and make the necessary changes. That's why also, in order to transform your mind into these things, behaviors are critical. Unhealthy behaviors, behavior changes to create healthier habits are critical for long-term success. And that's all part of the mind transforming process. And that's what happens in your process. That's what happens on your journey. Everything in between you starting and getting the product or the result of what you want. All of these things happen in between that. And that's that journey. That's the change.
That's the journey.
And that's why we say celebrate yourself through that process when you make those small changes, when you have that success in that journey. But transforming your mind is what's going to help you progressively change and sustain the changes you make
And how do you
over the long
transform
term.
your mind? You educate yourself. You
Right.
become self advocates for your health. You learn to read food labels. So many people still don't read their food labels. They so concerned with calories, but they're not looking at the chemicals in the
Right.
food. That's a whole different session.
Right. And
You
I
know,
like what you said though about transforming your mind. How do you do that?
yes,
You find and you face those inner truths. We talked about that
yes.
before.
You face those struggles.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because a lot of time we'll find them and we say, yeah, this is I need to do this. I know I need to do that. We point it out, but we don't ever do anything about it. You got to
exactly.
face it.
But you got to tell yourself the truth, Coach.
Mm-hmm.
You have to tell you. Don't lie to yourself.
Right.
Don't lie to yourself. If you can lie to yourself, you can lie to anybody.
Oh yeah.
Tell yourself the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm struggling here. Yeah, and we can all say we don't, but we all have those
Most
private
definitely, we all have our
internal struggles.
struggles. Most
And
definitely.
that's where stress and anxiety comes in at. That's where the mental health come in at.
Mm-hmm.
So intrusive thinking,
Mm-hmm.
that's not good. Just that if this we're gonna have those thinkings, and the Bible said, cast those thoughts down, bringing them the subjection of God.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? If they're very intrusive, they're consistent, we may need to try to seek help.
Mm-hmm.
They go that mental
Yeah.
weight. They
If
go
you
the
can't
mental
manage
weight.
it, right.
If
If
you're
you
not
can't manage it.
managing, maybe we need to see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So many people think this is a quick fix, but they're not quick fixes. There's no such thing as quick fixes and quick pills. I know we got the GPL. Those are out there for
GLP-1s.
GLP-1s, and they're for people who need them.
Right. They have a
So,
purpose.
but one thing we found out through one of our webinar seminars, we had, and a lot of the doctors, spoke on it. The weight loss was never a part of it. It was to lower the A1C, get
Mm-hmm.
the blood sugar and insulin under control. The weight loss came as a side effect.
It definitely is.
It
It's a side
definitely. Do
effect.
your research.
GLP-1 drugs, the weight
Yes,
loss
and I'm
from
not
it is a side
taking.
effect.
Don't get
Yeah.
me wrong. I'm not down it because people do need it. So, but one thing you have to do is you still got to do the natural
Right.
things, eating better.
And like I said, just
You
like
exercise.
everything else, it has its purpose. But we'll talk
Everything
about that
correct.
another day.
Yes, okay.
Because we can go up
I
in
know,
that
right?
one. Your choices, your decisions, before we get ready to go to a
Right.
break, they're shaped around your environment. That's critical right there. When
Oh,
you're trying to
yes.
change when you're on your journey to wellness and you're trying to make
The journey.
changes and modify things, you got to understand that your choices and your decisions are shaped around your environment. What are you saying? When you walk
God,
into
that's
that
good.
house, when you walk into that kitchen, when you look into that pantry, that's an environment that
Mm-hmm.
you're in.
Mm.
What does it look like? What's in there that's going to tempt that flesh that
Yeah.
you're still trying to bring under, that's going to cause you to get off that journey?
But
That's going to cause you to get out of that
right.
process.
But Coach, guess what? That desire is that temptation.
Mm-hmm.
So if that desire is still there, you're on the journey, but that desire for craving this and wanting
That's
this
the flesh.
is
It ain't
still there.
going
That's
nowhere.
the flesh. It's not
Mm-hmm.
going anywhere. But what we have to do is
Change that environment.
you got to change the environment.
Yeah.
So our personal environment, we have complete control of it.
Mm-hmm.
Our outside environment, we can control it only so much.
Right.
And so the more we transform our mind, the more we educate ourselves when it comes to our foods,
Create healthier behaviors.
change the unhealthy habits into what? Better habits.
Yeah.
That means I did a session coaching, building one habit at a time, and just focus on this habit. I need to drink water more.
Mm-hmm.
I need a little bit more water. I need to work on my posture
Mm-hmm.
a little bit more. I slouch a lot, so my cervical vertebrae is out of whack. So I need to sit up a little bit more. So I need to create things in my environment to help me practice that. And the more you practice it, the more it becomes an automatic habit. It's not going to come an automatic habit overnight.
Right.
And that's different from each person. That's
Right.
why when we set a time for stuff, everybody's not going to get to that place at the same time because everybody is different
Most definitely.
in their process. The mind then goes into effect where now this habit has been so ingrained, it has to be changed. Now I got to change this. It's not going to happen overnight. It's a process of change. Now your brain has to collect this information. It has to collect this data. Once this habit, it gets information that now this is serious. You for real about this.
Right.
Now this has become a norm behavior for you. Now it's clicked in. That's when it
You
clicks.
create a new habit.
And you created a new habit.
Mhm.
But as long as the flesh is going to be the flesh, it stays dormant. That's why the spirit
It's still
man,
there.
it's still there. If the environment does not change, it's going to pull on that desire
That's it.
for whatever that desire
That's it.
is there. It comes after the behavior.
Yeah.
And people, wait a minute, I'm going to finish. The people talk about the behavior change. That's good. But if we don't ever get to the root of the behavior,
find and face it.
that you got to get to the root of it. What is triggering it? Something is triggering it. A
There you
person,
go.
place, things.
Right.
It's triggering it. Smell, senses, something triggers
Triggering that behavior.
that behavior.
Right. You've done it so
And
long, now it becomes a
there
habit.
you go.
Yeah.
And then it becomes a habit.
Right.
And so we have a system that creates an environment. So it's hard to come out of those habits.
Right.
Because I got to go to this same place every day. I'm trying to do right here, but I'm trying to go to this same place. Just take kids to school. They go in an environment outside of the school. The teacher's doing everything they need to do. Then they go back to this place. Now I got now it's like a struggle back and forth, back and forth. Now it's hard.
It is.
And these environments
A
create
daily
circumstances, and the circumstances become what? Behaviors and habits.
It's a daily struggle.
Right.
And that's why readjusting and redoing your environment so that you take all of those things out that are a hindrance to you. You take them out of your house. You take them out of your pantry. Now, what do you do if you got kids and grandkids? Well, you got to start teaching them healthier habits now, right?
Yeah.
You want to have something in the house to give them that's maybe sweet, but still.
And don't make it so strict and rude.
Right. Don't be so strict on them, but still you have to build healthy habits around them too. So you sit the oranges and the bananas and things out like that.
Yes.
And steer them to getting the grapes and the berries and things like that instead of the cookies and the potato chips.
Yeah.
Not saying you can't have that in there. Don't have a lot of it in there, especially
Make
if you're
accessible and available for them. Have it in their view.
Right. Especially if you're trying to be delivered from things and you're trying to get your environment set right. And I like Jackie talks about this thing, create that space. Create that space between the thought and that impulsive behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
you
space.
Have to,
think about what you're about to do. Ask yourself some questions.
Yeah, we need to go for a break, guys. This is a great conversation. God, join in on this conversation. I know you're out there listening. Join in on this conversation. You can give us a call, Coach Patrick and I, 803-226-0041 or 0043. Let me repeat that, 803-226-0041 or 0043. We are talking about your journey to wellness, guys. Join in on this conversation. If you're on a journey to wellness, guys, give us a call. Give us some of the things. Are you struggling? Are you in the what if? Are you in a setback? Come on and let's help help you get out of that rut. Stay locked down right here on Help Matters on Shout 94.7 FM WAAW. Hey, see y'all out there. Wayne, good morning. Good morning, Gerald. Y'all share your views and opinion. Call in on the show. If you have started a journey on something that you're doing, give us a call. We already gave the number, 803-226-0041 or 0043. We love from you. We always welcome your views and opinion.
To all listeners and supporters, yes, you prayed and God answered. WAAW Shout 94.7 FM Gospel is back across the airwaves. Make plans to join us for the WAAW Welcome Back Celebration Luncheon on Saturday, August 23rd, 2025, 12 noon at the Leslie B. Price Center, 841 Edgefield Avenue, Aiken, South Carolina. This will be a great day of celebration and fellowship as we hear Dr. James L. Patterson singing his hit, I Believe God. up-and-coming artist Imelda Schaffner singing her hit, I Will Never Be Defeated. As well as speakers from throughout our broadcast area. Come and meet the WAAW Jesus team and hear the vision for WAAW by the Cornerstone Group. Luncheon tickets is $25 and a program booklet for ads is also available. WAAW Welcome Back Celebration Luncheon, Saturday, August 23rd, 2025, 12 noon at the Leslie B. Price Center, 841 Edgefield Avenue, Aiken, South Carolina. If you hear this commercial, we want you there. For more information, call 803-649-6405 or 803-270-3169.
Hey guys, welcome back to Help Matters with Jackie and
Coach Patrick.
you're listening to us, guys. This is the voice of the gospel truth. You're listening to 94.7 FM and WAAW. Guys, we've been talking about your journey to wellness, guys. We've been having a great conversation, guys. We don't want to have this conversation alone. Give us a call, 803-226-0041 or 0043. Tell us about your wellness journey. This is lifestyle. This is every day. Yes, we set goals. We have new goals, but they just add on to what we're already doing. Have you considered a wellness journey? Have you considered starting one? Have you started one? Share that with us, guys. We would like to hear from you. We don't just want to have this conversation alone, but guys, we stopped at
we talked about creating space.
I do that with my coach, and I call it space before the taste. I have one client, and she says all the time, she probably out there listening, I'm not going to say her name, and they have these donuts every day at work, and she be like, oh my goodness. And so I said, well, don't beat yourself up. You want a donut, just eat the donut. She says, not the donut. If I get it, I'm going to eat 2 or 3 or 4. And I'm like, oh wow. So yeah, now that's when it becomes, you got to, have what you call self-control and discipline there. I said, but you have to. If you just don't want to, you got to create that space before the taste. That space before the taste, that gives you time enough to close that gap. So before you make a decision. Like Coach said, before I give into this temptation. When the prayer said, lead me not into temptation, but deliver me. But you can't keep putting the temptation, the triggers around you. Just what Coach was saying, your pantries. It's not saying that you can't have these things, but sometimes out of sight, out of mind helps. Help some people. Some people just don't have that discipline yet. They have to develop that discipline, and they need to do that.
Here's the thing: just because you don't have it in your environment, don't mean that you don't, eat a cookie or a potato chip,
right?
Or have a cup of ice cream. But when it's not ready, accessible in your environment, then you have to put forth effort to actually go and get it. Because now I got to go outside my house and go to a ice cream spot or somewhere and get me a cookie.
It requires a whole lot of effort.
So it requires effort now that you got to put that flesh through, and you'll tend to do better that way and get to a better place where you're delivered from. Just because it's in there, I'm going to get it, because I'm telling you that flesh will win every time. By the time you be thinking about those cookies in there, those potato chips in there, and you looking at a movie, those peanuts in there, and you get up,
you say something all the time, Coach, about the
movie. You've been in it. By the time
what that word you call
figure
that,
it out.
we associate certain foods with certain places, things.
That's when we talk about those triggers. And some triggers, like when you go to the movies.
Smell
of popcorn. You and your family could just been out, had a full course meal, dessert and everything, and you want to go to a movie. You go to the movie, what? Smell of that popcorn and all of these things triggers that behavior
desire
and
for
that desire that,
for
hey,
that.
I want to eat popcorn just because it's been triggered now.
Yeah.
So now
Yeah.
what do I do?
Yeah.
And that's where that space come in. That space
Yes.
where you ask yourself them questions. You say, do I really want this popcorn
Yeah.
that I'm gonna buy and just cover it with
And
all
it's called
kind of butter
self-coaching. Yes.
and cover it with all kind of butter and so do I really want that? I
Yes.
just had a meal. I just had dessert. I just had something to drink. I'm good.
Yeah, and it's good. And I mean, nothing wrong with popcorn. It's
Right.
just, if you just eating
That's
your
just
food.
an example.
Example, yeah. So I just want people to know that it's because we
Yeah.
are not about
We're not
rules,
restriction and rules at all.
restriction. It's about balance and keeping your
Right.
body in sync.
Right.
Keep it in sync and keep it in balance.
Most
Keeping
definitely.
things moving.
Most
And
definitely.
so we talked about motivation earlier, Coach, but we didn't talk about, what drives the motivation, because motivation alone is not going to help you continue
it.
the momentum on this journey.
That's it.
You're going to have that why. You're going to have have something meaningful and that qualify why with meaning and meaningful purpose that's going to
Drive that motivation.
That's
what
it's just
drives it.
yes,
Right.
and it's just like a match.
Right.
It'll sit right there until something ignited.
Right. I mean, we hear it all
Yeah.
the time. If I just had more motivation, well,
Right.
like you say, motivation, it doesn't work by itself, and motivation by itself doesn't inspire you. But it's your why. It's
Right.
your desire that you'll always have to come back to and say, okay, why am I doing this? And if you truly desire what you've established that you're going to do, then you're going to do something.
Yeah.
If you truly desire it,
Right.
you're going to do something. You
Yeah.
can't desire something and don't do nothing.
But you don't start off that way.
And that's what drives motivation for you to do
exactly.
something.
But
your
that
desire.
starts off as a coach. We're both licensed health coaches, and so we know this. We have coached so many people. We coach so many people, so we see the different behaviors in people and the different process with people. We have had people that they didn't get it to a year, or some people, I got it in 3 months. Everyone is different. Everyone is different because everybody's walk is different. Everybody's struggles are different. So we can't compare ourselves with others when it comes to that journey. Your journey is unique to you. It fits you.
That's right.
And you have to see that. That's why that why is important. That's why, your goals that you're setting for yourself. And so, and like I said, it has to be sustainable. But motivation, the why, the desire drives the motivation. It has to. Why does it drive? Drives it.
Because you've made up in your mind, you've made a plan that this is what I want.
Right.
And in order for you to obtain something that you want, you have to put action behind it.
Yeah.
Motivation doesn't come until after the action, really. So you have to put that body in motion.
Yeah.
Towards what you're believing for.
Yeah.
If you're believing for better health, then what do I need to be doing right now?
There you go.
Because see, faith without works is dead.
dead.
James 2:26 tells us that faith without works is dead. I can't go to God praying for things, believing for a job, believing for a home, believing for whatever I'm believing for, believing to be a better me, and don't do something about it. If that's my desire, then that desire, as long as it's qualified, is what's going to drive your motivation. It's going to push you to do something. And that's why the motivation gets started.
And it keeps the momentum
and let me
going.
say this while I'm on it. And that's what drives your motivation. And the thing of it is, then it takes discipline is required to maintain that motivation.
Yeah.
Discipline is required to maintain that motivation.
And that takes a while. Like
Self-control.
I said, self-control.
Fruit of the Spirit.
That's it. But God also says, Patrick, in you, in him, we live, move, and have all our being. God said his word said, in all your ways acknowledge me, and I will what? Direct your path. He will direct your journey. God cares about your health.
Right.
It matters to him.
It matters.
So get him involved first.
It matters.
That's the we don't want to get God involved in these things. It ain't small because it's your health. This is your vehicle to transport his purpose and plan for your life.
Yeah.
And he also, the word also says, we said in him we live and move and have our being. But we also know that our body is the temple. And then God had me in Romans 1 this week. I present my body. Listen to that word. I present.
As a living sacrifice.
If you're presenting your body as a living.
What are you giving him?
What are you giving him? As a living sacrifice. See, back then, Old Testament, what they gave, sacrificed goats and animals and those things like that. But now Jesus came and, Jesus came. Grace is here. So, but I present my body as a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable, and pleasing. What is holy and acceptable to him? What are you presenting to your Father every day?
So, and that's good, Jack. Cause so you can see this thing is bigger than just physical wellness.
It is. It is.
Your spiritual wellness has got to be intact because God is our source. He is our source, and we can depend on His word for strength. Like Jackie said, willpower alone can't do it. You need His power to do it. So we can depend on His word for strength, and restoration. To renew us, to refresh us, to have good success. God got to be in it.
He has to.
To have good success, God has to be in it. You can have success, and everything else, it looks like success. And on the surface, it looks like success.
Come on.
But everything associated with you, your family might be out of order, and this might be out of order. But when it's good success, God has to be in it.
And your success.
He has to be. Right.
Your desire.
Because everything is working together for your good.
And when your desire becomes His desires, now God works this thing for your good.
That's right.
It has to become, His desire, because we don't come here with His desire. It's in us.
In accordance with His will. Right.
According to His will.
Right. For our purpose.
For our purpose and plan. Because we was what? Born in sin. Right. We was what? Shaped in iniquity. And so let me finish right there, Coach Elaine.
Go ahead.
We was born in it. Because what? The fall of what? Adam and Eve.
Fall of man.
But we were shaped. David said in 51, I was shaped. What that is, our lifestyle, our behaviors,
especially
and things, what we have grew up with, behaviors that we're dealing with today is the behavior that was rooted in childhood. It was rooted
it came
there.
With the package.
And now,
like I say, lays dormant.
Yeah.
And so.
So that's why transformation, reformation, total reconstruction of your mindset is a process. That's where change takes place. The battle is here. And in that mind, and we have to transform our mind. We can't conform to the world ways, but we have to transform our minds. We can't conform to the cultures of the diet cultures, the fitness cultures now, but we got to transform our mind to present our bodies as living sacrifices, holy and acceptable and pleasing to Him. God said in Revelation 4 that I created all things for my pleasure, for His pleasure. So when we look at it that way, we want to present something good to Him.
And here's the thing,
and
God don't hold things back from us.
No, He don't.
So we have free choice and free will to do the things that we choose to do.
There we go.
But that free will, sometimes everything that's good for you ain't good for you.
Ain't lawful.
Just
everything that's law ain't lawful.
Now, but it's important as we seek that good success in our wellness that we acknowledge Him. Proverbs 3:6 tells us to acknowledge Him in all things.
Yes.
Because apart from Him, Jackie,
we're nothing.
We can't do nothing.
We can't do anything. That's divine in the bread.
We can't do nothing. Apart from the divine, we can't do anything.
And you know what I struggle with, Coach, a little bit? A lot of it, I think women, most of it, we fight against what's not working. We try to make something work that used to work for us. And we fight. Don't stop trying to fight against something that's not working anymore. That means you got to make some changes. You got to make some adjustments.
Right. Have a sustainment plan.
So you got to make, so these things going to keep changing because you're going to, as long as you keep aging, things are going to change. So you're going to have to shift. That's why that mindset has to change. It's more so in the mental mindset. That's where they go, that mental weight again. Of changing how you see yourself. How some of us just don't want to age. It's a privilege to age. It's how we are aging.
Right.
It's how we are
We
aging
want to age as gracefully as
as
we
we
can,
can.
and we do that through wellness, and through
Yeah.
having a relationship with God. Of course, that's first
Yeah,
first
we
thing
gotta wrap
first.
this thing
Yeah,
up.
we're
We
gonna
can
wrap it up, but one thing Paul said: in every state, I am content. So
yeah.
be content with where you are now. You didn't get where you are
Not
now.
comfortable, but
You
content.
content. There's a
Yeah.
difference between being comfortable and content. Because when you're content, you're going to do the necessary things that you need to do to go to that next level of content. God gives us more and more. He takes us from glory to glory. So he's not going to glorify your mess and take you to glory, but you got to glorify where you at. Make better where you at, and he'll take you to the next step of glory. It's just like being faithful with little. Be faithful with what you have and do what you can where you are, and watch God take you to the next step and walk you through this process.
Yes.
Have that sustainment plan. That's very important, because your emotions
Qualified
going to get
right.
out of control. Your circumstances of life is going to interfere with your process. The way that you keep moving forward, if you have a sustainment plan, because barriers going to come. Your body's going to plateau because it's going to get
Yeah.
used
The what ifs is
to the
gonna come.
walking and things that
Setbacks
you
are gonna
do.
come.
Right. And then other thing I wanted to say, Jackie, was the law of motion. A body that stays in motion, a body in motion stays in motion, a body at rest stays at rest. And that's so true. Not only is that a law of physics, but there's a psychological effect as well. You'll be surprised. Once you get to moving, to doing things, then you'll continue to move and do the things you do. You may have just started off to walking, but now when you get through with that walk, you want to stretch a little bit, or you want to do some resistance exercises or things of that nature. Or you may want to go ahead and clean up the house since you're moving and sweating. So a body in motion stays in motion.
Right.
Just get it in motion. Get it in
Yeah.
motion.
Just get it moving.
Yeah.
And we move the way we know how to move. Walk.
Right.
Walk.
Right. You ain't got to beat your body
Just
up.
get up and walk.
Depends on what you're
We
doing.
don't have to, try to do everything everybody else do. Just get up. We walk every day.
Now, if you're trying to run a marathon, you got to prepare
Yeah,
for
you
a
got to
marathon.
prepare for that. That's specific.
Right.
But just general
Fitness,
fitness,
wellness. Yeah.
daily activity,
Move the
gardening, getting up out your house and
Move
go
the
ride a bike. Try something different.
Move
Maybe
the body.
your body just not responding to things that you used to do anymore.
Right.
Maybe it just, it's just not. So, hey, let's do something a little bit different,
Because your body will get used to the stuff that
Yes.
you're doing, and it will
Yeah.
plateau. And you'll be like, I'm not losing
Right.
weight anymore. What's happening?
Absolutely.
And if you still want to lose
Yeah.
weight, then you got to do some intentional
And find
things
what works for you.
to put
Find
that
and make sure
resistance on
it's
your body.
fun. Just make sure it's fun. You're making sure, and always make sure before you start anything, consult with your healthcare provider to
Most
make sure
definitely.
everything is well. There's no underlying condition that could be preventing,
Mhm.
because that can happen. It does happen. So you want to do that. And guys, remember, God cares about your health. He
That's
loves
it.
you so much, and he cares about our health because he wants us to continue to keep this body, presenting this body as a living sacrifice, as long as to do what
All right.
we are called to do. We are here to serve, and to serve, not to be served. That's what we're here for,
And
and we
right.
have to understand that. And that's, like I said, it still goes back to our mindset and how we think,
Most definitely.
and our thoughts.
Most definitely. And we just have to, do what we can. Start where you are, stay in the process, and develop them healthier behaviors, and you'll create new habits. So we're
Yeah.
going to close it out.
One
We're going
habit
to
at
shut
a
it down
time.
right there.
Yeah.
And just want to thank you for listening to Help Matters right here on WAW Shout 94.7 FM, the voice of the gospel truth. We want you to stay tuned for CMF. Pastor Bush is coming up right after us with You Matter. Then at 10 a.m., you got Sean Harris coming up with Saturdays with Sean. And then Alicia G is coming up at 12 p.m. And Tony D will be with us this evening.
All right, guys, and don't forget our weekday show. We have Pastor Small in the morning, that comes on in the morning is Morning Praise. Mary Harris in the afternoon cafe. You got Minister Arlene Edwards. She's there. She is there for Talking It Up. And join her this Friday coming up, the 8th of August. I and Coach Patrick will be on there. We will be talking about wellness, and we'll be talking about also my book, Still Becoming. If you have not ordered that book, A Woman Wellness, From Wellness to Wholeness. And so you also have Dinner with the Flock. Pull the plate up, get your Get your dinner on with the flock, and then Pastor Small gonna cool you down with Jesus Jazz, guys. We thank you, guys. Remember, join us at the Leslie B. Price on the 23rd of August for the WAW celebration, guys. And remember, guys, always sow and show an act of kindness, because you never know when that act of kindness may be extended back to you, guys. We'd like to thank you, Father, for listening to Help Matters this morning. And remember, we are here to help you to become a better you, to be the best you that you can be. We'd like to leave you with 3 John 2. Beloved, wish above all things that you may prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prosper. Guys, you have a blessed and wonderful day out there. Awesome show.
All right, y'all. Have a great Saturday.
Saturday.
Thank you for tuning in with us on this morning. Appreciate you so much.
Bye-bye.